1803, celebrated English poet William Wordsworth wrote a poem about yew trees. But it wasn't just about yew trees in general, it was about one specific ancient, majestic old tree. And it's a tree that survived here, in the Lake District of England. I've came down to the Lake District today to see if that magnificent old tree still survives. So I'm going to look for these yew trees in the Lake District today. But there's a lot more to the Lake District, and mountains and lakes, I suppose, what you would think. There's lots of ancient relics and structures, and a lot of these things. Stone circles, thousands of years old. But the yew trees that I'm looking for today as well are far, far older than the stone circles. And I think some of the stone circles might survive because the yew trees were there in the first place. There was one site in the Lake District which predates all of these pagan relics, and it's a living, breathing organism, and it's known as the Borrowdale yews. So let's go and see if we can find these yews. Are they still standing? If you like remote places, you'll love it here. Borrowdale. So I've hiked over here to Borrowdale from the stone circles to find these amazing old yew trees that Wordsworth spoke about. And it's not just Wordsworth who spoke about them. There are old engravings and pictures of them too, like this one. But the problem is that Borrowdale Valley is a huge place with loads of old trees. So where among this plethora of old trees on this hillside are the Borrowdale yews? Well, we're just going to have to go and investigate. As well as just so many trees, there are just so many different species of tree around here. It's going to be difficult to spot these yews. Some of these trees in Borrowdale are just truly magnificent. Look at this old oak tree. It's like a different world. The Borrowdale Valley is the wettest place in England, the highest annual rainfall in the whole country. And you can see that by the amount of moss and grasses and lichens and ferns everywhere. But it really does give it a real fantasy feel. But where are my yew trees? The end of the Borrowdale Valley. The yews must be here somewhere. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the yew tree grove here now that Wordsworth so eloquently wrote about. Yeah, this is the site for sure. This is Wordsworth's 3 yew trees grove. Well, it used to be 4, I don't know where the 4th one was. But you can tell even from here how ancient they are. Let's take a look at this one first. What a setting. See the waterfall there and the mountains at the back. Wow. What a sight. What a sight. Here's the first one, and straight away you can tell just how old it is. Wow. Is. You can see all that damage up the side there. These things have been damaged time and again in storms. Wow. But this is one of the younger ones. This one. Massive damage at the side of this one. Huge branch being knocked off there many years ago. But this at the back is the real, the mothership, the one which all the others have stemmed from. Look at the thickness of the trunk. It's ancient. This thing, it's amazing. A branch, a single branch from the top was recently dated by the number of rings on it, and a single branch that thick with 1,500 rings on it. So the branches at the top are 1,500 years old. So how old is the trunk at the bottom? It's immeasurable. Some people say 2,000 years, but that's an understatement. massively understated. It's far older than that, far older than the stone circles and the druid pagan rituals that went on in this area thousands of years ago. This thing has been here for an eternity. A hark back to a different world, a time when trees didn't even exist. William Wordsworth was inspired to write about these trees. You know just standing here that you're in the presence of great antiquity. Things that were here before the Nativity, before the pyramids of Egypt, before human civilization, if you ask me. But these yews have not only been revered by artists and poets over the years, they've been revered by man for many other reasons. They're strong wood, ideal for bows and arrows, but they're poisonous. The needles are poisonous, the bark's poisonous, the bark gives off a hallucinogenic resin. And the seeds of the arrows are poisonous too. In fact, the only part of a yew tree that isn't poisonous is the flesh around the arrow. But don't try this at home. I repeat, do not do this at home. But you can eat the flesh as long as you don't eat the seed. But it's not advisable to eat too many. These are thought to be the oldest trees in all of England. Some people say Britain, but the Fortingal yew in Perthshire in Scotland seems to get that recognition. But some people argue that these trees here in Borrowdale are the oldest living organism in Europe. The oldest living organism in Europe. Just let that sink in. And it's still flourishing today. A full crop of berries on this ancient old creature. Is it a tree? Is it a being from another world? Is it a hark back to a time when the earth was different as to what it is now? Because scientists are having trouble even classifying the yew as a tree. It's so different from all other species. It does look like 3 separate trees, and it used to be 4, but one was destroyed in a storm. But they've all been DNA tested, and every single tree is identical. So they all stem from the same root system. It's just one tree. They've all sprouted from that mother tree at the back there. That's the way yews regenerate. See how this old one's beginning to hollow out and die almost in the middle. that's just the way that you survive. And keep doing that and doing that over eternity and regenerating and regrowth and rebuilding. And I'll keep going forever. You know, there are literally hundreds of people out here walking in this Borrowdale Valley in the Lake District today. But nobody seems to be interested in these magnificent ancient beasts. So there you have it, the Borrowdale Yews. A most astounding piece of nature. Something you need to visit.